In today's lecture, we will start with topic 5. Did we finish topic 5 in the last lecture? Did you remember? Which topic we cover in the last lecture? I think topic 4 we finished. We start with topic 5, all right? So topic 5. So topic 5 is a global marketplace. Global marketplace. In this global marketplace, normally we gonna study how company do their marketing activity at international level, right? So let's start with the first thing, which is global firm. What is the meaning of global firm? In simple language, global firm means any kinds of organization which is operate at international level, that's called the global firm. But here we have a specific meaning of global firm. Normally, as I said, global firm is a firm which operate in more than one country. The firm which operates in more than one country, it's called global firm. But we also have a more detailed meaning of the global firms. So global firms, that's firms which operates in more than one countries, because it's operate in more than one country. So these kinds of firms gonna take some kinds of advantage, some kinds of gain. So gain, marketing, productions, R&D, research and development, and financial advantage. Financial advantage. All right. So they're gonna get the gain for marketing. They're gonna get marketing gain, production, R&D, and some kind of financial gain at international level. Right. That's also represent the meaning of the global firm. And another way to understand global firm is compared to domestic or national firms. Global firms always look at international market as a single place, as a common place, right? So global firms sees the international market or sees the world as one market, all right? It's not a different market, it's a one market, so that they are willing to enter or they're willing to control, right? Or willing to operate. So these are the definitions of, or the basic meaning of the global firm. So let's move on to the next, which is global marketing environment. Let's look at the global marketing environment. global marketing environment. Under global marketing environment, uh, when you're gonna enter in a global market, of course, you're gonna face various kinds of obstacles, or you have to deal with the various kinds of factors, right? Or different kinds of factors, they may affect your business at international level. So which kinds of factors may affect your business at international level? So the first is a tariff. Tariff. Second one is quotas. Third is foreign exchange or exchange control. Foreign exchange or exchange control. And the fourth one is a non-tariff trade barrier. Non-tariffs trade barrier. So these kinds of factors may affect your business at international level. So let's start with the tariff. Tariff means import tax. Right? Import tax or import duty that government more likely to import to generate. So what is the purpose of these import taxes? So there could be two reasons behind these import taxes. So the first reason is inland revenue. Inland revenue generated by government. Government will make money by imposing the high taxes on the import items. Let's say car has a high duty, import duty in Vietnam. So it's going to be like maybe, I don't know, it's 50% to 100% import duty. So that's why buying car is really expensive here. Second thing, second purpose of this import taxes is minimize the competition in domestic market. Right? Minimize the domestic competition. So that's the reason government will import taxes. Government will import tax, so the demand for local product will be increased because less likely to import the foreign product. Next is quotas. Quotas is basically a limits of foreign product. Limits of foreign product. Limits of foreign product means sometime in order to minimize the competition in a domestic markets, or in order to maximize the demand for the local product, government set the quotas. So set the quotas means you cannot buy more than that amounts. So quotas represent the amount of foreign product, right? Quotas means the amount of foreign product that we can import. Amount of foreign products. We cannot buy more than that, because if we buy more than that, local market may be affected. All right. So that's why government set up the quotas. You cannot import more than that quantity. Next is the exchange control. Right. Exchange control means foreign exchange. We also call it forex. F-O-R-E-X. Foreign exchange. Foreign exchange means convert foreign currency in a local currency. Let's say if you want to buy any product from Singapore, you have to convert Vietnam dollar in Sing dollar, so you can buy. All right. Same thing if Singapore they want to sell anything to Vietnam, so they have to sell in a local Vietnamese currency, right? Vietnam dong. Right? So they have to convert local currency to foreign currency, or foreign currency to local currency, right? But there is a problem when you exchange with the foreign currency to local currencies. The problem is the exchange risk, right? Foreign exchange risk. Foreign exchange risk means, for example, if you are a buyer who are buying raw material from Singapore, if Vietnam dong is getting weaker compared to the Sing dollar, you have to pay more than the buying value, right? Because of the foreign currency. Same thing if you are a seller and you are selling any product to Singapore and Singapore dollar is getting weaker and you are a seller in a Singapore. I mean, you are a Vietnamese seller who want to sell in Singapore. If Singapore dollar is getting weaker, then you're gonna make less money. So this is called the foreign exchange risk. So in order to minimize the risk, sometimes some country they control their foreign exchange. They do not fluctuate their foreign exchange currency. They do not change their currency rate. So they keep it fixed, right? So that kind of situations we can see at international level. So the purpose to fix that foreign currency movement is to take advantage to the buyer or to the seller which come from the foreign country. So as a result, that person more likely to enter in that market because that person gonna face less foreign exchange risk. Right? So in order to minimize the foreign exchange risk, sometimes some countries they fix the foreign exchange, right? They control the foreign exchange. Fix the foreign currency. Fluctuation. Fluctuation. Fluctuation means movement up and down. So these are the problems you can say that, or benefits you can say that you can have when you're gonna trade and in the international market. So these kind of factors may affect your business. And the third one is non-tariff trade barriers. Um, Non-tariff trade barrier means some kinds of biasness biasness against low quality product. Low quality product, right? Bias against the low quality product. Now, what does it mean? So let's take example of America. America, they're quite strict about importing the high quality product. If any kinds of product which is low quality, let's say in Vietnam, I think China is the best example, which products are low quality product. People do not prefer to buy low quality product. People have that kind of mindset that Chinese products are always low quality product. So same example in Vietnam, in America. So if American, let's say they are buying any product from Vietnam, for example, and as a result, that product they bought from Vietnam, that product is a low quality product. So uh, they're gonna ban that kind of product in America because people have a people have a low quality of products, and the government they don't want that their people, their population face such kinds of low quality that's maybe affect their pockets, affect their health, or some other economic or some kinds of health issues problems they're going to face it because of that kind of product, right? So they ban that product, right? So if the product are low quality, that's the meaning of non-tariff trade barriers. All right, so means they're gonna create some kinds of barriers for those kinds of products which are low quality. That's kind of problem we can face it when we are running our business at international level. So it's very important to maintain the quality of the product. However, it depends upon countries to country. Probably like as in Vietnam, we can face lots of made in Chinese low quality product. But again, Chinese product are not always low quality product, but majority of product we see in Vietnam, they see the Chinese product, low quality Chinese product. Maybe I don't know what is the reason behind it, how they can enter in Vietnam. Not only Vietnam, mostly the Asian countries. Maybe the regulations things are not that strict compared to the Western countries. So by that reason, that's kind of product they enter in that country's market. Right? So yeah, so that's the ideas behind non-tariff trade barriers. Low quality product when you sell in an international market. So country government more likely to ban or give you some kinds of barriers to sell product in their market. So these are the problems that you most likely to face when you do business in international market. So let's move on to the next. Which is marketing environment. Marketing environment. We already discussed this marketing environment, micro, macro, internal and external, but now this marketing environment we're gonna study at international level, right? So in this marketing environment, the first environment we're gonna discuss, it's the economic environment. Economic environment. There are two factors that really affect this economic environment. In these two factors involved, so means these two kinds of factors attract the economic environments, make it more attractive, right? So first is the industrial structure. Industrial structure. Structure of your industry. Is it well structured, or it's kind of not really developed industry? Various kind of industries in that country. It's really affect the economic environments of the country. Second one is a income distribution. So the level of the people. So income distribution mainly divided into three levels: low income, medium income, and the high income. All right. So depends. In your country, majority of people comes under low income or medium income, right? Or how many percent is the people are high income group people in that country? So that's also affect the country economic environments. Let's have a look at the industrial structure. Industrial structure, there are two factors affect this industrial structure. Two things affect this industrial structure. First one is the raw material exporting economy. Raw material exporting economy. Economies. And second one is the industrial economy. Industrial economy. Industrial economies. So in this industrial structure, the first thing is the raw material exporting. So again, it's very important. Is your country raw material exporting or importing? If of course, if it's raw material exporting, it's really give very important impacts over the country economy. In simple language, positive impacts, because we need a raw material to make any kinds of products. So if you are involved in that kinds of raw material exporting, so it will give a positive impacts of country economy. right? On the other hand, industrial economy, right? So industrial economy means, do you manufacture products in your country or you import product from the foreign country? If you manufacture product in your country, that this thing we already discussed in our economics class, the first lecture. If you are producing product in locally, you less dependent on the import product. So if you do that, that's kind of industrial economy will give positive impact on the country GDP, since we are less involved in importing foreign product. In fact, we are involved more exporting products, right? So as a result, country GDP will be improved. But again, depends countries are industrial economy or not. Means you set up many manufacturing industries, government really encourage manufacturing industries or not. That's really, really important. All right. So as a result, that will give direct impact over the country economy. Another thing is income distribution. In income distribution, in other words, we can say that how government generate revenue, how government collect, and how government collect taxes and provide services to the people. All right, services to the people. It depends, all these things depends upon how much tax people pay. And tax depends upon the income. All right, and income depends upon the level. Tax depends upon income, and income depends upon level. As I said, we have a low income group, medium income group, and high income group. All right. So low income group more likely to take more benefits. They contribute less, but they take more advantage of the services that government are providing. Maybe the free educations. All right. But again, free educations not for all kinds of people. Free educations for the low income group people, and of course you have to show your evidence that government normally allowed them by giving some specific ID or something, depends upon your income. All right. Same thing, health benefits, you're gonna get it. And some countries, they provide some kind of groceries, low cost grocery items, but only for those people they cannot afford, or they cannot, they don't have a regular income, or the high income or the minimum income to get the minimum nutrition. So government providing them low cost, government giving them subsidies, government give them subsidies on the food items, right? Especially rice and beans and that kind of things, right? Middle incomes, they're gonna like partially involve in taking services of the government, all right? And high income group, they involve more tax payments, and they may take less benefits from government services, but not as less as possible. Some benefits, of course, they're going to take it, like as the roads, government is building roads, right? Hospitals, government hospitals, anybody can go to government hospitals, no matter low income, medium income, or high income. Government schools and government universities, any income group can go and get the study in those schools and universities, right? So these are the things that affect the country economic environment. So that's number one, economic environment. Let's move on to number two, which is political legal environment. Political legal environment. Right. In political legal environments, many things affects, especially two factors that really affect political legal environment. One is the political stability. Political stability and the monetary regulations. Now, political stability. Political stability means same government, same party. Right? Yes, maybe less likely to happen in Vietnam. So it's very important that government do not change. When the new government comes, so that government maybe gonna cancel some agreements that previous government has made, that agreements with some international partners. All right. So let's take example. Um, it's happened the country where government change. So when new government change, they gonna revise all kinds of contract that previous government they have made with some international investors or international investment or foreign direct investment or any kinds of foreign partners. They're gonna have some kinds of collaboration. They're gonna revise it and then they may cancel it. They may update it. Depends, right? So that's affect. So government, your political stabilities affect the political environments, and political environments affect the global business of firms. So for example, let's say I'm a foreign investor and I want to invest in one country, and in country there is a democracy, which means government change after 4 or 5 years. So so currently so this, for example, this is the last year of the government ruling period is the last year, 1 year. So next year the country gonna have election, and then they will select their prime minister or president. Let's say prime minister. So so this year I'm going to sign a contract with the governments to invest huge amount of money in that country. And then of course it's a long-term process. It cannot be happen overnight. It takes 1, 2, 3 or 4 years. So I sign contract with this current government, and then I start working on the project to make my investment in that country. And then suddenly 1 or 2 years later, government change because of the election, and that the government who signed contract with me, that government lose the election, right? And new government comes into a ruling position. And when that government comes, they may cancel the contract. It depends upon them, right? So if they feel that there is some kinds of corruptions or some kinds of bribes involved in such kinds of agreements and collaboration, so to minimize the bribe system in that country, they're more likely to cancel the contract, right? And as a result, government, so as a result, being investors, I lose my investment, right? So it's affect my business. So political stability is very important. But if government do not change, so over there, political stability is kind of political stability exists, which give the positive impacts over the country's country's development, right? So it's give a positive impact on the foreign investors or any kinds of global firms who's willing to invest in that country. So they have this is kind of less political risk. This is exactly same like as political risk that we studied before when we study about um, we study about the first lecture, micro and macro marketing environments, internal and external. Right? So this is external. Right? PEST, political pest analysis, political, economic, and so on, socio-cultural and technology. Right? And another thing is monetary regulations. Now, what does it mean, monetary regulation? Monetary regulation is related to the supply of money. Supply of money. Demand and supply of money. Demand and supply and money. So under we call the monetary policy, the control over the supply of money in the market, right? So of course, if you know that if supply increase, the value of money will decrease, right? If demand increase, value of money will increase. If value of money decrease, it means country has a inflation. Inflation means value of money goes down because of the supply of money in a market. So in order to control over inflation, In order to control over the inflation, government changed the interest rate. Interest rate means at rate we borrow money from bank. If interest rate increase, supply of money will decrease because less people will borrow from bank. All right, supply of money will decrease. Supply of money will decrease, maybe demand will increase. Demand will increase, then value of money increase. Then government starts supplying money. Right. So this is same like as open or close. The supply of money, open it. When the supply is fulfilled, then close supply of money. And then when people start demanding, opportunity increase and open, and then people get the money. So this kind of things called the monetary regulation. So the country's state bank or country central bank control or regulates such kinds of monetary policies. Right? So that's affect the country legal system. And I force money, that kind of money supply directly affect over the company, right? Company business, right? If any country has an inflation, that may be less likely to involve in any kinds of foreign investment, right? Because the value of money is very low, and the less they have to pay a lot of money because their value of money is already low, right? So may foreign companies can have such kinds of advantage in investing in that country, but the country which has a low money value or high inflation, that country gonna have a disadvantage, right, in international market. So this is the political and the legal environments affect the business. Next thing regarding political and legal environments that affect business is the counter trade. Counter trade, which also belongs to political and legal environment. Counter trade. What does it mean, counter trade? Counter trade means any kinds of non-cash trade. Non-cash trade, So now next is a non-cash counter trade, which is the non-cash payment trade. Non-cash payment trade means you will not make any kinds of cash payments when you're gonna trade at international level. So that's called the counter trade. So we have different types of counter trade. So what inside counter trade? As I said, we have various types of counter trade. Various types of counter trade we have. So the first counter trade involve a barter. Barter. It's very traditional way of making a payments. Barter means exchange of product with product, or exchange product and services with product and services, right? So it's exchange of goods and services. Exchange goods and services. Exchange goods and services, no money. So let's say I'm buying rice and you have beans. I have a rice and you have beans. So I'll give you rice and you give me beans. So this is called a barter system, right? Second one is a compensation or buyback. Compensation or buyback. Compensation or buyback means when companies sell its plants or assets. Companies sell plant or assets to make a payments, to make a payments, of product. In other words, we can say that, let's say I have a plant, all right, and you have a product and service. So you give me product and service, I will transfer plant to you. So this kind of system, it's called a compensation or buyback, right? Next is a counter purchase. Counter purchase. Under counter purchase, you sign a contract. Okay, let's say there are two different countries. This is one country and this is another country. Let's say this country is a Vietnam and this country is a Singapore. Right? Singapore company want to sell product in Vietnam. Right? Singapore want to enter in a Vietnam market to sell the product. But Vietnam market will keep one condition for Singapore. The condition is, okay, you can sell your product and service in Vietnam, but in exchange of this, you have to make investment, foreign investment in Vietnam, right? You have to give foreign investment. You have to make foreign investment, right? In Vietnam. Why Vietnam want it? Because if Singapore will give any kinds of provides or make any kinds of foreign direct investment in Vietnam, Vietnam have employments, right? Employments, people gonna get a job, right? So technology employments or some tax benefits, government gonna get it by attracting that foreign investors in that country. So this is called the counter purchase. So you're gonna make a condition. Means if you wanna sell product and services in my country, you have to make investment in my country. If you make investment, I will allow you to set the business, right? So that's many kinds of countries, they do that in order to develop their economy. So this is called the counter purchase, and which is part of the counter trade. So three different things: barter, compensation, and counter purchase, right? So that's all about your political environments. So let's move on to the next, which is next is deciding which market to enter. Deciding which market to enter. How international firms, they decide which market we should cover, or which market we should enter. It depends upon the various factors. So let's discuss about these factors. These factors involve, number one is a market size. Market size. How big is the market? Right? Which types of market is big, or market growth? So which is the growing market? So if you're gonna part of the growing market, you're more likely to make money, all right, in that market. So that's market size. The first factors which affect when company gonna make a decision to enter in a market. Second thing is a market growth. No, it's not market growth is already. Second is a cost of doing business. You're gonna invest money. So what will be the cost of acquiring resources? You must have fund. Is it really expensive to make investment in that country, or is really a least expensive compared to the other countries? It depends. For example, now Vietnam is become like one of the most attractive destination for the foreign investors. So I hope you've seen recent news that Apple company, they shift their manufacturing plants from China to they already made this decision a long time ago, but now the final approval has been done from the Apple company. So they're gonna establish their manufacturing plants from China to do Vietnam. So of course, here is the reason is a more pandemic and coronavirus situation. Because of these reasons, they feel that Vietnam much more safer compared to some other nations. So that's why they decided to move to Vietnam and India. So maybe some other countries as well. Maybe I guess Bangladesh as well, Thailand, I believe. So yes, so it depends. It's really effective to invest. Effective means cost effective to invest in that country or not. So that's one of the factors that affect it. Second one is a competitive advantage. Competitive advantage. We gonna have such kinds of competitive advantage in international market or not? Right? If you have, then you will enter. Right? Or your product is a high quality product or low quality product compared to their local producers. Then you have to think carefully, right, before you making any kinds of investment decision. Right? So this thing also affect when you're gonna make decision to invest in foreign market. Finally, the risk level. Various kinds of risk could be associated with these factors, right? Risk level is maybe, I don't know, like for example, companies planning to establish manufacturing plants in the middle of Vietnam, right? So they have um, uh, some kinds of calamity or natural catastrophe or natural disasters issues they have generally every year. They have flood, so business more likely to be affected. Overall, they're going to analyze the full country, whether this country is safe from the demographic point of view, or some kind of atmosphere, or that natural catastrophe or natural disasters point of view. Is it quite safe or not? So they want to minimize their risk to invest. Second risk could be political risk that we just discussed earlier, which is political stability, how stable political system over there it is. All right. So that's also affect political risk. And another thing is foreign currency fluctuations, foreign exchange risk. They also have maybe face such kinds of inflation as such kind of situations. All right. A country has a high inflation or not. All right. So these kind of things, they're gonna make decision to invest it, right? So this is deciding which market to enter. So now have a look at the deciding how to enter the market. Deciding how to enter. Deciding how to enter. So there are three different ways to enter the market. The first thing is exporting. All right, exporting. Second thing is a joint venture. And the third one is a direct investment. direct investment. So there are three different things here. So let's discuss about exporting. Exporting means when company produce product at domestic level, but sell in international market. So means export means you produce in your home country and you sell in a foreign country. That's called export, right? Second one is a joint venture. Joint venture means you're going to join another company in that country. For example, I'm planning to enter in Vietnam market, all right, but I don't know how to enter. So one of the way to enter in a Vietnam market is I collaborate with Vietnamese company. If I collaborate with Vietnamese company, that's called the joint venture. Right? So collaborate with foreign company. Collaborate with foreign company to enter. As I give example, right? So that's why you can see in Vietnam, many universities, they have a collaborative program with the foreign partners. So these foreign markets, they find a quite high potentials of foreign students or international students in Vietnam. In Vietnam, maybe students, the demand for international qualification, but of course they cannot afford it to go to foreign countries because the living cost is so high. So foreign universities, so they decided to enter in a Vietnam market. So they are not directly entering in Vietnam market. Maybe some of universities, they are directly entering in Vietnam market. The best example is like RMIT. So they are directly enter in a Vietnam market. However, some others, they're making some collaboration with some other famous or big universities. So the advantage of, so again, if you're gonna collaborate with foreign investors, right? So you have to collaborate with a foreign company. You have to make sure that company must be big company. If I'm planning to enter, let's say I have England University. I want to enter in Vietnam market. So students can study in my university in Vietnam, stay in Vietnam and study. But I have to find a famous or big university so they can collaborate. If I find the famous or big university, so I don't have to make much efforts to attract the students, because the universities, the big universities in Vietnam, they have such kinds of credibilities in a market. But of course, that university is not providing same. That university do not providing international educations, right? So their curriculum more about Vietnamese curriculum. So I can collaborate with that famous university, and that famous university can help me to acquire the students, help me to find the students, and they can easily find. Not just only finding the students, whatever resources we require to provide the educations, to provide the knowledge, could be classrooms, could be projectors, or teaching equipments, library, and like enough place for the students. So big university, they already set up the business. I directly enter in a market without making some kinds of further investments. All right. So everything is already set up. Market is set up. I have to just enter and start supplying the services. This is called a joint venture. All right. So that's one of the way to enter in a foreign market. And another one is a direct investment. Direct investment is a little bit different than exporting and joint venture. In direct investment, you enter in a market, you set up your business from the grounds, and then you develop your business. So you acquire resources, labors, and everything. You set up business from the grounds. Let's take example of Walmart, one of the biggest companies in America, which is like a supermarket. If Walmart want to enter in Vietnam, so Walmart cannot be entered through exporting and joint ventures. They do not need a joint venture. They're already a big company. If they want to enter, they want to enter without making any collaboration. Because if you enter in a joint venture, you have a less profit share, because you have to share your profit with your partners, right? So let's say if Walmart want to enter in Vietnam, if they will enter in Vietnam, that's example of the direct investment, right? From university point of view, RMIT is example of direct investment. They directly invested in Vietnam without making any kinds of collaboration with any other university, right? I think another example is a Fulbright university that also from US. They also they did the same thing. They also direct investment in Vietnam, right? Maybe some other schools from the Singapore colleges and some other private institutions, they also enter in Vietnam through the direct investment. Some they collaborate, some they directly enter. So this is the way that company can choose to invest in a foreign market, right? Now let's move on to the next. Next is product introduction at international level. Product introduction at international level. Product introduction at international level. What does it mean? It means how you gonna introduce your product. What kind of product you wanna introduce in an international level or in a global place, right? So there are three different kinds of product that global firms can introduce in a foreign market, right? The first product is a straight product extension. Straight product extension. Second one is a product adaptation. And the third one is a product invention. Product invention. Now, what is straight product extension? Under straight product extension, when the foreign companies, they do not make any changes in their product. They keep exactly same quality, same features, same designs, everything is same when they introduce their product in a global market, right? All right, they do not make changes, they keep as it is. keep the same product. So this is called the straight product extension, right? Product adaptations. Changes in a product right? Change in a product to meet the local wants. Right? So they make changes in a product depends upon their local people taste, local people preference, local people culture, language, anything. They're gonna make changes in a product so the people can conveniently use that product. That's called the product adaptations. So it means you are making product as per the country, right? Now product inventions. You make completely new or innovative product for that country, right? They make new or innovative product especially for that country, right? So that's not for the other countries. It may not be used in another country. You're designing only for that country. That's called the product invention, right? Let's take example of straight product extension. Straight product extension examples could be a cars, luxury cars, or the cars. They keep the same quality of the product. That's they are keeping the quality in their home country, right? So the same quality of the product they are providing or supplying to the international market without making any changes in that product, right? So that's called the straight product extension. Another example for straight product extension could be candies, chocolates, some kinds of chocolates made in US. They are making the same taste, or some in Europe, they're making the same chocolates for the international levels people. Right? Depends. Now, product adaptation. Product adaptation means you're gonna make changes as per the countries, people taste, people preferences. Let's take example for McDonald's. Right? McDonald's in America, they sell pork, right? They sell bacon, or they sell some kinds of meat, right? But if McDonald's in Middle East, Saudi Arabia, or in Malaysia or Indonesia, you can't find pork in the McDonald's. So they make product change as per the local demands, right? And if you take example of McDonald's in India, if you take example of McDonald's in Vietnam, you cannot find vegetarian burger in Vietnam McDonald's. You cannot find vegetarian burger in KFC in Vietnam, but you can find vegetarian burger in McDonald's or in KFC in India. Right? So that's called the product adaptations. Another example of product adaptation is the taste. For example, KFC. So of course, KFC is an international firms, but KFC do not maintain the same taste around the world. It depends upon countries to countries. So if you try KFC in Vietnam, the taste you will try in Vietnam, and the KFC you try in India, the taste is a little bit different. In India, they add a little bit more spices to make it much more spicy. So maybe they think that Indian people, yes, that's true. Indian people, they like more spicy product, more spicy flavor in a food. So that's why they increase the spicy flavor. Or maybe they added some Indian spices when they make their KFC. So see, this is the best example for the product adaptation. International product, but when they sell the product in international market, they change the market. Another example for a product adaptation is some kinds of candies. I think some candies or some ice cream. I think the best example is ice cream. In Vietnam, some companies, they're selling ice creams in a durian flavor, durian or jackfruit flavor. So this kind of flavor less likely to find in America. All right. So that durian flavors in candies, durian flavors in cake, and green tea flavor in. I never tried any kinds of green tea cakes before coming to Vietnam, but now I can find many green tea cakes or green tea candies. Right? So they put some green tea flavor in that kind of product. So that's called the product adaptations, right? Next is product inventions. Product invention means you are making completely new or innovative product. I think the best example for product invention could be some kinds of application or software used in a supermarket screen, counter screen, whatever applications they are using. Same thing, some kinds of applications they are using in a banks, right? Or some firms we are providing services. So these could be example of the product invention. So they make changes in a product. Another examples could be our websites, utex.hcmut.edu.pm. So that's online websites could be example of the product invention, that's website only made it for that university. All right. So this is called the product inventions. So company make changes as per their country's demand. It may not be applicable for the other countries, may not be useful for the other country. Other country can't use that application, of course, because that application is 100% in Vietnamese, right? So if they don't have English option. So these are the things that we can use it. Right. So that's all for this topic. So topic 5 is finished. So anybody has any question? Topic 5?
Can you give me a repeat the example of straight product extension?
Okay. State product extension, you do not make change in a product. You keep the same product, same quality of the product, maybe same design of the product, like as maybe air conditions. Samsung air conditions. Samsung air conditions sold in Korea. Samsung air conditions sold in Vietnam. Same, right? Samsung car, let's say Kia brand, sold in Korea, in Vietnam, same. Same example of some, let's say BMW. BMW sold in Germany, right? And BMW sold in Vietnam. No changes. They keep the same product at international level. That's called the straight product extension without making any changes in the product. All right, so you will not find any change in a straight product extension. All right. Any other question? Any other question regarding this topic? If no questions, can we move on to the next, which is let's discuss about midterm exam. Can we discuss midterm exam?
Yes.
Okay. So your midterm exam gonna be next week. Next week, Monday. Next week, Monday. And the date is the 7th. 7th December. If you want, can we start early next week? Or are you busy? You have a class? Can we start around maybe 2 or 3? No, not 2. 2:30 or 3 p.m. Can we start 3 p.m.?
No, we have class.
You have a class. If you have class, then we will start 3:30. Topic until today, which is topic 1 to 5. Type of question. You're gonna see 40 questions, 40 multiple choice questions only, right? 40 multiple choice questions only. And you don't have long answers or you don't have any case studies, all right? Only multiple choice questions. And you have time allowed is 60 minutes, right? 60 minutes for these 40 questions, right? And it's a closed book exam. Closed book exam. No mobile phones, right? That's all. Yes, that's all. So any questions regarding midterm exam? Any questions, midterm exam, yes or no? Okay, so no questions. So no questions, so can we stop here?